So my name's Adam. Been training about 2.5 years now. Got my second stripe on my blue belt tonight. 19 years old. Started training when I was 17 in the middle of COVID, middle of 2021. Something I've been interested in doing for a while, but it's always been difficult.
What would you say that led you into getting into Jiu-Jitsu?
What led me? Definitely UFC. And to be honest, I was a Connor McGregor fanboy when I first got into UFC, and then progressed into other MMA. I just found that Jiu-Jitsu, I enjoyed watching the striking aspect of it, the wrestling and the judo, but I thought they were all a bit, not physically demanding, but I think boxing specifically is not great for your long-term health. I think striking to the head and doing heavy sparring sessions 3, 4, 5 times a week isn't great for you. Obviously, everyone who's trained Jiu-Jitsu knows that you get a lot of injuries, but the little niggly injuries, and they're nothing like that's going to lead to CTE down the line. So it was something that I knew I'd enjoy, because I watched clips of it and I watched UFC quite a bit, but it's something that I knew I'd enjoy. Great health aspect to it, and no long-term health injuries.
Well, that's it, isn't it? I think in terms of like what most people watch the UFC, like yourself included, after a while you start noticing like the ground game, and then you start looking into it, you find out that these guys are all, pretty much have to have some good level of Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, and I suppose the most dominant background sport to come from is wrestling, freestyle wrestling, Sambo, Khabib, prime example, and the amount of wrestlers that have come through and won world titles. I mean, at the minute I think it might actually be predominantly strikers at the UFC. I've swayed away from UFC a little bit at the minute, but you think back to like people who've come from ground disciplines. You think Rafael dos Anjos, Michael Chandler, who's at the top now. Jose Aldo was Muay Thai, but great on the ground as well. And I think you need that, the base, not just the basics, obviously you need to be excellent, but you need a good grounding in the ground game to reach the highest level. And I honestly believe that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, if taught properly, is the most effective martial art. I mean, you go back to UFC 1, there's obviously question marks around the best in the sports, around the other ones, boxers with one glove and stuff. But yeah, there's no question that you have to have great Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or you won't be able to compete at that.
So how would you say Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has helped you on and off the mat?
Both on and off the mat, with confidence. I'm a little bit bigger now, but when I was younger, I'm naturally very slim. When I left school, I was under 10 stone, and I was like 6 foot. Not really grown since, unfortunately, but I was always like pretty slim. I always had quite a mouth on me, to be honest. Growing up playing football, I was captain of my team, and I always had to have a big mouth on me. Sometimes it got me in trouble more than I probably should have. But coming here teaches you confidence, but it teaches you confidence whilst being humble with it and humility. I might be bigger than some people, but those people will. I don't know if I can swear. Yeah. They'll feel better. But then again, there's bigger guys that haven't been training as long that I can do that too as well. So it teaches you confidence, but humility more than anything. Teaches you, no matter, you see tonight and around the gym and stuff, people from all backgrounds, all colours of skin, men, women, all religions. When you're on the mat, you take shoes off, you got your belt tied. We're all here. We're all trying to get to the same goal. We're all striving to be the best that we can be. And there's no disrespect. That's one thing. Another thing, going back to what got me into it, is I tried boxing, I tried kickboxing, I tried other sports. I think the demographic there, I might just have had bad luck with the gyms I went to, but I think you get a lot of people who think because they boxed, some kind of big man, where here you might have someone who's been training 10 years and you walk on the mat with them and you're like, oh, how's your day been, what's this, and rugby, whatnot. So yeah, I mean, the main two things I've got back to is definitely confidence and humility.
So, what's your favourite submission?
My favourite submission is definitely a triangle. I've got, I'm not the most physically gifted person, but I do have quite long legs, and I feel that it's probably the one that I've worked on the most. So it's definitely the one that I've got the most. I like a baseball bat from top side. I like that, and I do like a cheeky Americana from places sometimes where you might not expect it, especially off your back. I think a lot of people, they might leave an arm out sometimes, and it's just so easy to get that little bit on it, just a little bit of a crank, and I think a lot of people tap to it. So those are definitely top, not my favourite, definitely my favourites. Triangle, with top three would be triangle, baseball from the side, and Americana from the bottom.
Happy days. And do you compete? Have you competed?
I've never competed, so I wanted to compete. I had every intention of competing at white belt. Unfortunately, I got my blue belt before I ever had the chance. Given my age, given that I'm 19, the amount of people, the amount of young lads that are similar age to myself, that have been training, 10 years plus, and that are in my age weight and belt category, it means that and not just I think, I know I'm not good enough to compete at blue belt yet. Give it another year or two, I'll definitely think about it, but at the minute, I get pasted by a lot of guys here that I know that if I went into a competition, it'd just be the same thing that I get here. I might learn different aspects of it, but...
Well, that's it. That's what I think. I think it's not all about competing. People do it for all different reasons, don't they? And I think when you're competing, like you've just said yourself, you might learn something different, or you might take away something from that. Yeah. So I would say just go for it. See, win, lose or draw. If you've had fun, you've won.
The guys here say best time actually to compete is like when you're brand new to a belt, because you've got no expectations to it, and that is an aspect to it. I don't know, it's not something I've thought about much, to be honest. I mean, I started 2.5 years ago, it's just flown by so much. It's like I just keep turning up to practice week in, week out, and it's just, I don't know where it's gone, to be honest. It's just flown by, to be honest.
So on a final note, what advice would you give to somebody, whether it be a male or a female, or older or younger, to make change in their life if they're struggling, whether that be with mental health, whether that be with the weight, whether that be with just needing a different social setting or a different social circle? What advice?
In terms of coming to jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, just getting involved.
Obviously the main one is just come. If you don't like it, most gyms now have a trial session. If you're not sure after one trial session, go to another trial session. Just in this area, there's 2 or 3 gyms in Chorley, there's a few in Preston, a few in Horwich, Bolton. I mean, whatever you're going for, whether you're going for competing, strict competing, if you're going just for a chill out, if you're going for the social aspect of it, there's different gyms that'll suit your taste. And even if you don't find the right one at first, I was very lucky. This was the first gym I came to, and I instantly just liked the people here mainly, but the vibes, and vibes might be a bit cheesy, but just the general setting in general. So yeah, I would just say tonight you probably have it on your video. There's people of all different ages, different weights. The oldest guy here is 74. He was 74 last month. The youngest guy, I think there are 13-year-old tonight. So there's people of all different ages. Women, especially at this gym, we're very well represented with women. Trish behind you, she got European gold medal. People who've been training 10, 15, 20 years, or people it was the second session, so whatever demographic you fit into, there will be someone that you can relate to. There will be someone that will help you, guide you, people that speak to you, people that will help you along your journey, whatever that be, whether you want to compete, you just want to chill out. There's options there for you, and the main thing definitely just come down.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for the interview, and we hope to see you again in the future.
Oh,
maybe at one of these competitions, eh?
Yeah, well, I'm not too sure about that, but yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Cheers,
Thank you.
Probably waffled a little bit.